What is up, boys? Back again with another video for you all. So basically, today's video is going to be about play. What I mean by play is having fun doing the habit you want to get better at. So there is this fine line basically of learning and taking it too seriously. So if you take something too seriously, what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna waste too much energy and you're not gonna learn at all. Alright? And the reason I decided to make this video is because today I had a great training session, bro. I had a great training session, and that resulted in me performing in a better, I had a better performance than I performed in Sunday, and today is basically Tuesday. And it's just so fascinating to think that, Sunday I was listening to some hardcore rock music, and I was like, yeah, let's go. I was pumping myself up, acting all aggressive and stuff, and then taking it too seriously, and I just ended up being stiff in sparring. But today, Tuesday, we did some sparring. I felt light, I felt fluid, be like water, my friend, as what Bruce Lee said, and I had some fun. I was like, ooh, yay, hi, right? And basically, it resulted in me being more better, as opposed to that Sunday where I was so stiff and I didn't really get any shots in. And today, I got some good shots in today. And, I learned. So basically, I decided to make these videos because it's so crazy to think that how, your mindset before what you're gonna have, before the work you do, impacts the work you do. I know it's basic common sense, but it's still crazy to think about it. But basically, if we want to get out of learning, whatever learning you want to do, is it school, work, a hobby, a business, whatever it may be, a book, we need to make it fun. Because if we be too serious and we're not having fun, we're not going to learn. Now, the thing I like to think about is a training session is fun because that's where you learn. But it shouldn't be like a fight, because a fight is where you take all the things you've learned and put it to a test. So would you say that the test is like the work? No, it's different, right? So the teachers make us play some online games so we can learn better for the test, and then the test is where you take everything you've learned and put it to a test, right? Basically, it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be serious about a fight, because that's a fight. But when it comes to a training session, we should find it, or anything, we should find it playful. We should find it fun, because the things that determines how well or how much we learn is how well we're having fun. For example, school. I didn't like the people in school. I don't want to use hate, but I didn't like the people in my school, because I moved to a new school. I didn't like the teachers, I didn't like the work, so I didn't really learn that much, but when I'm in the gym and then there's some good people around, like today, there's this couple guys that kept making me laugh, and it was just so funny. They kept making jokes, and it was just a good environment to be in, and we had some playful sparring, and it went so great, and I learned so much as opposed to school. And when I'm in because I'm currently doing shadowing instead of going to school, right? Because there's this project where I shadow instead of going to school, and basically when I shadow, the person I'm shadowing, which is a car technician, right? When he works on cars and he's telling me all these things, I really try to embed it in my mind, because I'm in my mind, this is fun, because it's kind of it's systems, like jiu-jitsu, one thing leads to another, right? But whenever I learn from that, I have fun with it. That's why I chose that career path, right? Because for me, it's really interesting, right? Because if you think about it, automotive technicians, mechanics, whatever you want to call it, but basically anyone that works on cars or airplanes or any machines, they're basically working on a body. And it's just so crazy how you're basically a surgeon for a machine, basically. My sister, she's trying to be a surgeon, work on the body, right? And basically, it's so cool to think that you're working on a body, but not a human body, a machine body, right? And it's just so cool to me. But that's off topic. But basically, whenever I learn about that, I feel happy, I feel fulfilled, you know, I feel like it's fun, and flies by fast, and that's an indication. If time flies by fast, that means you're having fun. But if you're so dreadful and you feel like it's always a chore to do it, then you're not having fun. For example, let's say that you wake up in the morning, and let's say that you have to go to the gym and you're not having fun, you're dreadful, you're not gonna have as much workout as possible. You're not gonna learn from that training session. Versus if you wake up, you feel pumped, you're excited to go because you like the people there, you like the things you're learning, you're actually learning, and you feel like your life has improved ever since you've been there. You're gonna feel more motivated to go. You're gonna have fun. For example, yeah, this is a really good example. So basically, in my sophomore year, I'm currently a senior, right? About to graduate. Let's freaking go. Basically, I had what is it called? I had this two friends of my sister's, right? And basically, one lived with us, right? And basically, we would always go to the gym every day in my sophomore year. After school, I would always look forward to it. I was always pumped up. I would do my schoolwork, go home, record, and then around like 7, 8, we would all meet up at that gym, and then we would have fun workouts together. Talk about life and crack some jokes, and we would have so much fun. And I was learning because they were teaching me, because they were more bigger than me, and they were like more stronger than me, and they were teaching me how to build muscle, how to build strength, what to do, and it was just a fun experience, as opposed to, let's say that you go to the gym alone, right? And then it's so dreadful that you go there, you just feel so depressed, you feel like it's not fun, right? And the outcome won't be as good as if you were having fun. That's basically all I'm saying, and that's enough for me. Hope that helped you in some way, sort of form. It's enough for me. Be the best possible person you can be. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.